Good morrow, ladies and gents. It is I, the Crimson Crusader, your #1 weekly source for anti-MGTOW content. In order to promote solidarity within our small but strong anti-MGTOW community, I am participating in a collaboration video with other anti-MGTOW YouTubers, with this video you are watching now. I am creating this short video to go more in depth about what it means to be an anti-MGTOW, and I will be comparing anti-MGTOW to MGTOW to demonstrate why anti-MGTOW is far superior to MGTOW. The MGTOW movement is so retarded that it makes feminism look genius. It's important that we anti-MGTOWs continue to express ourselves because it is how our ideas will develop into a solid foundation. Anyways, welcome back to another triggering video. You know, no one starts out as an anti-MGTOW. At first, you start not caring about how society is losing its moral compass, but then you realize the undeniable truth of this internal problem in our society that is harming people. A result of this is the creation of toxic groups like MGTOW. Once you reflect deeply on this, you will become an anti-MGTOW who will help resist this. So, what is anti-MGTOW? An anti-MGTOW is a principled social activist that consciously rejects the false teachings of MGTOW and works to actively stop the toxic, fallacious, and self-destructive MGTOW movement in its tracks. This sad movement justifies their loony and twisted idea of wanting all or most men to leave relationships with women by using false interpretations of female nature, blaming society or the state, and using that all as scapegoats for why men can't succeed in relationships. Instead of trying to solve problems that society faces, many of these MGTOW choose to act like cowards and focus on themselves and decide to, quote, leave or ignore society. They love to complain about shit, but when it comes to actually doing something, they don't seem to give a shit when it comes to putting enough effort into helping men. How can a society function like this? The danger is this attitude of irresponsibility is getting into the hands of young boys, which is going to invite toxic ideas into your home. Furthermore, the end goal of anti-MGTOW is to end the current, unnecessary existence of MGTOW. But there is more to being an anti-MGTOW than just rejecting MGTOW. Part of what it means to be an anti-MGTOW is being responsible with one's gift of free will. That responsibility is to use our talents, time, and our energy for fighting for what is right. So, if you were to walk up to me on the street and ask me to describe what anti-MGTOW is in one word, I would say truth. Because that is what anti-MGTOW is all about. Fighting against lies and idiocracy, which is something synonymous with the MGTOW community. We reject conspiracy theories and the pseudoscience that MGTOW call red pill philosophy. Hypergamy, gynocentrism, assocentrism, and whatever you want to make up are all a waste of space in your brain. These ideas make gender studies programs seem like a real class. By now, I probably will have someone complaining about me not using X amount of statistics to prove my point. But let me be honest, even if I did give you 100 different stats, you will still never believe me because many MGTOW have too much pride. If you want to see my criticism against hypergamy, if you want to see my evidence, I challenge you to watch some of my videos and think for yourself. Many of you still don't believe that anti-MGTOW is far superior than MGTOW. But if we compare MGTOW to anti-MGTOW, the average viewer who is not a MGTOW will come to the realization that anti-MGTOW is almost superior to MGTOW in every way. What separates the MGTOW community from the anti-MGTOW community is that the anti-MGTOW community respects people and follows the path of truth. Unlike anti-MGTOW, MGTOW is guilty of violating the laws of logic. A good majority of their evidence when it comes to the nature of women seems to be based on their personal experiences rather than using widely accepted and credible scientific theories or studies. Unlike MGTOW, anti-MGTOW use credible information. The research I do on my channel comes from experts and PhDs in psychology who actually know what the hell they are talking about. However, I see many other MGTOWs and even prominent ones who use, you won't believe this, Wikipedia as a source for information, which calls into question the legitimacy of their claims. I can give you a ton of reasons why Wikipedia is bad, but you can look those up for yourself. What's even worse is how many are intellectually dishonest and are so full of pride that they are willing to twist reality for their own pathetic arguments. I have seen many MGTOWs strawman people's arguments and call anti-MGTOWs anti-males and anti-single, when in fact we are just against the idea of MGTOW. In some videos I respond to, there are many MGTOW who love making assumptions instead of using actual facts. I've been accused of being a socialist, someone who believes men and women are biologically the same, and other nonsense. It's clear that there are some MGTOW whose insane conclusions about me make them look as if they failed a reading comprehension course. Unlike MGTOW, anti-MGTOW act more like scientists because we have healthy skepticism, and like any rational and sane individual, we ask for the proof to their theories on female nature. So far, many MGTOW have never failed to disappoint me when it comes to proving what they are saying. In MGTOW, there seems to be vast and endless piles of garbage content that comes from many members of their community. Unlike MGTOW, anti-MGTOW respects men because we don't insult people who disagree with us. On the other hand, many MGTOW are hypocrites and bitch about shaming language, but they call us cucks and pussies for acting more manly than they are for standing up for our own beliefs. Anti-MGTOW attack ideas, not people. When it comes to relationships with the other gender, anti-MGTOW is far better than the MGTOW community. Unlike many MGTOW, we respect women and treat them as human beings. I think many of my community would agree with me that men and women are equal in value and dignity. On the other hand, with MGTOW, there are many calling women demons, others saying single mothers are sluts, and most of them shame folks like you and me for disagreeing with them, for daring to question them. They like to say that Western women in general are low quality. Where's the proof, I say? Where are the prominent MGTOW denouncing this bullshit? When I look around, I see many quality and brave women. Are you going to tell me that the women who died defending the United States in wars, the ones who paid for our liberties in blood, are low quality? What about the woman who died by bravely sacrificing herself to save a rabbi in the Poway shooting? What about single mothers who are raising children because their irresponsible fathers left them? Why don't I hear many MGTOW acknowledging the brave contributions that women have made to progress and build our society? Name one thing MGTOW has done that equals to half of the contributions many of these women have made. I will stand by good women, especially my sisters in arms, who are doing more right now for my country than what the MGTOW community could ever do for men. Men and women are meant to walk the earth together because not only is that how Mother Nature designed us, but that is how a society advances. A community succeeds when individuals come together and help each other out, and those who forget this lesson will be doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past. Abraham Lincoln once said, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." We see this with mighty empires throughout history like Rome that fell partly because of political instability. This is caused by division in society. This is quite evident considering a civil war in Rome caused 20 different people to take the throne in only 75 years. A significant difference between MGTOW and anti-MGTOW is an anti-MGTOW understands the importance of relationships with other people. I'm not talking about romance, I'm talking about friendship and cooperation that mutually benefit people. That can only be achieved if we start to see each other as friends in a fight to survive in this fallen world we live in. The MGTOW will say they do not hate women, and that may be true for some MGTOW, but if you don't hate women, why don't you work with them? Why can't you have a relationship with them? Why does your community promote members who refuse to talk to women? Is that respectful? Is that love? I only hear crickets on the other side of the fence. I ask you to choose wisely and pick the path of truth and respect. Choose anti-MGTOW, a movement far superior to MGTOW. MGTOW may not believe you cannot reform society, but anti-MGTOW knows together we can, and we will triumph.